Have you ever done something so routine, so ordinary? You didn't think twice about it, only to find out later that it could be quietly putting your health at risk. This morning, a 72-year-old woman passed away. It was sudden, unexpected. The cause? A simple mistake, one she made without even knowing. What's even more alarming is that this exact mistake is something millions of people over 70 do every single day. It's terrifying to think about, but it's true. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive. Habits that once seemed harmless, like a quick morning routine or skipping that first glass of water, can start to chip away at our health in ways we barely notice, until it's too late. But here's the good news: awareness is power. In this video, we're diving deep into 4 common morning mistakes that could be silently putting your health in danger. These mistakes don't just affect how you feel in the morning. They can impact your heart circulation balance, even your brain function. And here's the kicker: most people over 70 make at least one of these mistakes every single day. But don't worry, once you know what they are, they're easy to fix. And making a few simple adjustments could mean the difference between living a strong, active life and facing a serious medical emergency. So please stay with me until the end, because the last mistake we'll cover is one almost no one talks about. It's often dismissed or overlooked, but it can drastically increase your risk of falls, dizziness, and even heart problems. You'll want to know what it is, because avoiding it could truly save your life. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video that could help you or someone you love. And if you're finding this video helpful at any point, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0, so I know how to improve. All right, let's get into it. 1. Getting out of bed too quickly. Let's start with something that sounds completely harmless. In fact, you've probably done it today, getting out of bed too fast. It seems innocent, right? But for older adults, this everyday habit can be surprisingly dangerous. You see, as we age, our circulatory system doesn't react as quickly as it once did. When you've been lying still for hours during sleep, your blood tends to settle in the lower parts of your body. If you suddenly sit up or stand without giving your body time to adjust, your blood pressure can drop sharply, a condition called orthostatic hypotension. The result: dizziness, blurred vision, feeling lightheaded, and worst of all, falls. Take a moment to think back. Have you ever gotten out of bed and felt woozy for a second? Maybe you needed to hold on to something for balance, or your knees felt weak for a few steps. That's not just aging, it's your body sending you a warning sign. Consider Edward, age 74. Every morning he'd wake up, swing his legs over the bed, and stand up right away. It was a habit, a rhythm. But one morning he stood up too fast, blacked out for a split second, and stumbled. Thankfully, he fell back onto his bed instead of the floor. But it scared him, and it changed the way he approached mornings. So what should you do instead? Here's a simple but powerful 3-step morning routine that could prevent a life-altering fall. Start slow. When you wake up, take a few deep breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes to gently wake up your nervous system and stimulate circulation. 2. Roll and sit. Slowly roll onto your side, then gently push yourself up into a seated position. Let your feet rest flat on the floor. 3. Pause before stand-down. Give your body a moment to catch up. Rotate your ankles, stretch your arms, take a few deep breaths. Then, and only then, stand up slowly. It may take 30 extra seconds, but those seconds could prevent a fall, a broken bone, or even a trip to the hospital. Remember, falls are one of the biggest threats to health and independence as we age. So if you've been leaping out of bed like you did in your 30s, it's time to rethink that habit. 2. Skipping water in the morning. Let's talk about hydration, a simple thing that makes a world of difference, yet so many people forget it, especially in the morning. One of the most overlooked yet potentially dangerous habits for people over 70 is skipping water right after waking up. Why? Because during sleep, your body is still hard at work. Your heart beats. Your lungs breathe. You sweat even if you don't notice it. By the time you wake up, you're already in a mild state of dehydration. That dry mouth you feel in the morning, the stiffness in your joints, that groggy, sluggish feeling that takes hours to shake off. These are all signs your body is running low on fluid. And here's the dangerous part. Older adults are more prone to dehydration, and the consequences are far more serious. Thicker blood, slower circulation, increased risk of high blood pressure, kidney stress stroke, and even heart attack. Let's look at someone like James, age 76. For decades he had the same routine: wake up, pour a cup of coffee, and get going. It was his ritual. But as the years went on, he noticed more frequent morning headaches, occasional dizziness, and a kind of brain fog he couldn't quite shake. His doctor suggested something simple. Start the day with a glass of water before anything else. Within weeks, James felt the difference. Clearer thinking, fewer headaches, better energy. It was like his body finally had what it needed. You see, water does more than quench thirst. It jump-starts your metabolism. It helps your kidneys flush out toxins. It gets your blood flowing more efficiently and supports nearly every system in your body. So what can you do? Start small. Keep a glass of water by your bedside. As soon as you wake up, drink it even before brushing your teeth or sipping coffee. If cold water isn't appealing, try warm water with a splash of lemon. It's soothing, refreshing, and helps wake up your digestive system. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. By then it's too late, you're already dehydrated. Make it a habit. Your heart, brain, and body will thank you. If you've made it this far into the video and you're finding it helpful, comment the number 2 below. I'd love to know you're still with me. Next up, mistake number 3, and it's a big one. One that millions of people make every morning without realizing how it might be affecting their stomach hormones and even mental clarity. So we've already talked about how jumping out of bed too quickly or skipping water in the morning can silently strain your body, especially after the age of 70. But there's another seemingly harmless habit that many people do next, and it might be quietly upsetting your digestion, your energy levels, and even your mood. Let's talk about coffee on an empty stomach. 3. Drinking coffee before eating. Imagine this. You wake up still a bit groggy, walk straight to the kitchen and pour yourself a hot cup of coffee. That rich aroma fills the room. The warmth hits your hands, and for a moment it feels like everything is right with the world. But here's what's really happening inside your body. When you first wake up, your blood sugar levels are at their lowest. Your digestive system is still slowly waking up. Meanwhile, your cortisol, the body's natural stress hormone, is already at its peak for the day. It's part of your body's natural rhythm to help you wake up and get moving. But when you drink coffee on an empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning, that caffeine can send your cortisol levels soaring even higher. And that sudden spike, it can place unnecessary stress on your body. For some people, it shows up as jitters. For others, it might feel like unease, lightheadedness, or a sudden wave of anxiety. Have you ever had your morning coffee and felt strange, like your heart was racing or your stomach was turning? That's not your imagination. It's your body's way of saying, something's not quite right. The acidity in coffee can be especially harsh on an empty stomach. It irritates the stomach lining, which can lead to discomfort, acid reflux, or even heartburn. And for older adults whose digestive systems may already be more sensitive, this irritation can turn into a daily recurring issue that chips away at your comfort and well-being. Let me share a real-life example. There's Robert, age 75. Every morning for decades he started his day the same way: strong black coffee, nothing else. He never thought much of it, but over time he began experiencing acid reflux more frequently. At first he blamed it on getting older or eating spicy foods, but when he brought it up with his doctor, he got an eye-opening answer. It wasn't just what he ate at lunch or dinner, it was when and how he was drinking his coffee. Having it on an empty stomach was putting extra pressure on an already sensitive digestive system. So Robert made one simple change. He started having a small snack before his coffee. A banana, a few almonds, sometimes just a slice of toast. Within weeks, the acid reflux eased up. No major changes, no medications, just a better routine. The good news, you don't need to give up coffee. Not at all. It's not about quitting, it's about timing. Eating a little something before your first cup of coffee helps buffer its acidity. It gives your body a head start, stabilizes blood sugar, and softens the stress response triggered by caffeine. Even a small snack can make a meaningful difference. So, if you're someone who reaches for the coffee pot before anything else, consider switching the order. Just a few crackers, a piece of fruit, or a couple of nuts before your first sip can protect your stomach and give your body what it needs to handle that caffeine boost more gently. And there's another bonus: eating before coffee also helps reduce those jittery or anxious feelings that sometimes hit later. Why? Because caffeine is absorbed faster on an empty stomach, which leads to a sharper spike and a more dramatic crash later. Food slows that process down, giving you a more steady, stable energy boost without the roller coaster effect. So tomorrow morning, before you take that first warm sip, ask yourself, have I given my body something to work with? It's such a small shift in routine, but it can have a big impact, protecting your stomach, balancing your energy, and helping you feel better throughout the day. 4. Ignoring morning stiffness and moving too quickly. Now let's talk about one more common morning habit, and it's one of the most dangerous mistakes older adults can make: underestimating morning stiffness. We all know the feeling, waking up and noticing a little tightness in the knees, back, or shoulders. It's easy to brush it off. Just getting older, we say. So we push through it, get out of bed, and start the day. But here's the risk: that stiffness is your body's warning sign. Ignoring it and moving too quickly, especially without warming up your joints, can lead to injury, pain, or even a serious fall. Here's what's happening inside your body. During the night, your muscles and joints are mostly still. Blood circulation slows and your body produces less synovial fluid, the natural lubricant that helps your joints move smoothly. As a result, when you first wake up, your body isn't quite ready for action. Standing up too fast, twisting the wrong way, or stepping without balance can all lead to trouble. Think about a time when you woke up and felt tight in your back or knees. Maybe it faded after a few minutes, but over time, ignoring that stiffness day after day can lead to long-term problems, limited mobility, chronic joint pain, or worse, a sudden injury that could have been avoided. Let me tell you about Walter, age 78. He always saw himself as strong and active, so when he woke up stiff, he just powered through. But one morning, as he was heading to the bathroom, he stepped too quickly, lost his balance, and fell hard on his hip. That one moment turned into months of recovery, all because he didn't give his body the extra time it needed. But here's the good news: preventing this kind of accident doesn't take much. Just a few minutes of gentle movement can make a world of difference. Here's what you can do. Before sitting up, start by wiggling your fingers and toes. Gently rotate your ankles. Stretch your arms over your head. Then, still lying down, do a few slow knee lifts or gentle leg movements to loosen up your hips. Once you sit up, roll your shoulders, take deep breaths, and do a light stretch before standing. It takes just a few minutes, but it helps get your circulation moving and prepares your joints for the day ahead. Also, be mindful of your first steps. Use a sturdy surface to support yourself if needed. And don't rush, especially if you're heading to the bathroom in low light. Give your body time to adjust. That stiffness you feel, don't ignore it. It's not just part of aging, it's a signal, a chance to protect your body before it's pushed too far. Because staying mobile and independent starts with small, mindful habits, and that begins the moment you open your eyes. If you're still watching this and you've found these insights helpful so far, comment the number 4 below to let me know you're still with me. In just a moment, we'll wrap things up with a few powerful takeaways that could help you transform your mornings and protect your long-term health. Stay with me because the smallest changes often make the biggest difference.